Well, great morning, everyone. Oh, my goodness. So today is the collaboration day. So I'm just going to grab some cards here and do an open read. Here we go. Give these a good shuffle. And then today at 5, the usual Mountain Standard Time, I will be doing the collaboration. So on Wednesdays, people that have been here know I don't usually do many readings because I never know what the things we're going to read on with Hogarth later in the day. Now, I had that reading with the Psyche. It wasn't recorded, but we had really interesting conversations. We both remember past lives in a specific place with same memories and that type of thing. And he says there will be another book. I will do another book. Now this one I know is going to be quite different. And it's going to, I think, be what I'm feeling. It's going to be something about contact with alien beings coming in and things. So I'm got a feeling that's what it's going to be. The further I get closer to the time. Now I have some, as I'm shuffling here, I have some unusual things still coming up, remembrances from my past. And just things that I've stuck with because I have no memory at all of my childhood. Nothing. Okay, my son can remember all the way back to standing in his crib and remembers all that stuff. I have no memory. And growing up, I've always used, instead of speaking of I or my, it was always we, which is unusual. Okay, so I grew up and was always talking about we. Now, I do remember as a child, we were standing out in the dark sky and saw something went across the sky. And that never left what that was. But I also have the really creepy thing of these aliens, and these were not the good alien. This was the really dark aliens. And that could be why I shut down for quite some time, because it's they were harvesting people and using their blood, keeping them in terror and using their blood. Sounds a lot like what's being uncovered with the Epstein stuff, doesn't it? Yeah. But I had that thing, and it just brings up this cold chill up my back again, even talking about it. But I did see that these ones, the spacecraft, and they were harvesting people and keeping them in this mode of fear and using their blood and trying to keep them alive for as long as they could to harvest the blood. It just continues to give me the creeps. But that could be one reason that I had shut down for so long, because of seeing that. Yeah. But those things, you know, things are coming back into memory. And, but the thing of always using we. Now, when the great implosion happened and the falling away took place, after that, it takes a good 10 years to be able to, because at that point it's blown out. It's called nirvana, blown out. And you are in, you know, just so alignment with everything that you were in a very highly, well, what other people would term an altered state for years and years and years and years. And at that point, it was always this one, because there is no identification as an ego form at that point. So it's always this one. And people would accuse you of trying to be elevated, and it's not that at all, but just saying I, to say I, took a long time to be able to say I. First it was we, then blown out, and then it was this one, you know, as to this form, because it's all, everybody is the same spark of that divine is. But it took a good 10 years to be able to say I, me, my, I. To have that grounding, because for that 10 years, it is a totally, totally enmeshed in the Advaita, or what people would say the books of the law of one. Okay, it's that total knowing, understanding, living in that consciousness. Okay, and that consciousness is still here. It's still, but it's gotten to be enough grounding now to be able to really relate to people in a better way. So for that first 10 years, you don't even want to speak with anyone. You just, you know, because the conversations are, you know, people want to do a lot of small talk, and that has no relevance. Okay, has no relevance. So you just, you know, but yeah, it takes a good 10 years to really be able to ground. So anyway, those are some things that are coming up to be looked at, you know, in a different way as to what had taken place and what's going on now. And yeah, there's that absolutely consciousness of those tonal shifts that are taking place. Okay, that are taking place across the planet now. Now, these tonal shifts are different than what you get in Kundalini. Okay, I'm going to tell you that. It's not the same internal sounds. Those are different than what this is, this tonal shifts that are taking place. So anyway, let's get to the reading, shall we? So let's see what it's about. So the subject is, okay, that feeling of these things that are coming and you are there pushing back, but so many things that are coming, people may be feeling on the edge. The energy coming in, the takeaway, the things that some of them are trying to get away with, that we're becoming more and more aware of. This is the time of the disclosure for so many things. Yeah, this is above it. Now, this could be in the positive. It's the genuine spirituality, being ruled by that. In your life, your rulership is bringing forth that genuine spirituality. Or it could be in the negative, somebody that's being ruled by their emotions. Okay? And yeah, here we have the White House. So in this case, in the negative, this would be the White House. He's ruled by his emotions. He's feeling pushed to the edge and he's trying to get away with this. In a positive reading, this would be really ready to push back against the things that they're trying to get away with, bringing in genuine spirituality and more balance to your actions, your home life, etc. Okay. So what's going on now? Yeah, we have the MAGA, or we have population. And the challenge is what's being offered up. So in the case of MAGA and what's being offered up, let's see what we have above it. Yeah. They're investigating. They're looking at these things deeper now. And the foundation is, wanting to have a victory. We're feeling embattled. People are feeling, that it's taking a lot of effort, but they're not going to give up. Okay? They're feeling, especially now I see in the wheelchair and the other things going on, handicapped. They're feeling handicapped. They're taking away the medical. They're taking away food stamps. They're taking away all these things. And so they're investigating, looking at this and seeing how it's affecting them and what is being, the challenge is what's being offered up. Okay? So potential outcome, the truth. Yeah, transformation into the hardcore truth of what's going on. Outside influence is based on the desires. Okay? So what do you want to know? Do you really want to know the truth? Okay, yeah, the light, the sunlight. If you really want to know the truth, then this stuff is going to be disclosed. When it comes to Epstein, when it comes to past, okay, a victory. When it comes to the past, the White House, ruled by the emotions, are bringing forward genuine spirituality within your own life, your own being, your own journey, shedding light. He is feeling more and more pushed to the edge with what he's trying to get away with. Magatonians are not buying what they're selling now as much. And it's the desire to know the truth, which is going to continue to bring the light on the past happenings, whether it's Epstein stuff, whether it's the murdering of these scientists, or some of them that have been taken out. So this is the time of reveal, but it's our desire to know the truth rather than sticking the head in the sand that is going to bring this about. So again, it's about changing your consciousness, it's about changing your actions and what you're bringing forward, how you're living your life, and what your focus is. It's about getting out of fear mode, because that is what closes all these things down. The fear mode clamps down on the light, doesn't allow the light to get in. So open up to the light and have the desire to know the truth for these things to start to amp up in revelation. And the more the more of society that wants the truth in this transformation, time of transformation, shedding light on these dark subjects, the more that Trump gets into this feeling of being on edge. Okay? Now they took him the other day, said he was going to his dentist. Well, they have a dentist at the White House. Okay, they have that stuff there. So where he was going, we don't know. But again, he's being more and more pushed to the edge, which is affecting his health, his decline, the dementia decline, all of that stuff is amping up. So let's see what's pushing this under the surface. It's about what's being shared. There is this new cup coming in, okay? And with that is coming judgment, okay? With that is coming judgment when it comes to religiosity, dogma, this fake, this antichrist religiosity versus genuine spirituality. So more judgment is coming in on that, wanting justice, these things being overturned and seeing it from a different viewpoint now, the sacrifices that have happened, etc., a message about an action, continuing to stand guard, looking at what's behind this class of wealth and drama that they've done. What's being strengthened is this revealing of the pain that's happened, continues to happen by these ones that are what? My card of the pedophile. This guy just gives me the creeps. I'm sorry. This is, yeah, okay. So the pain that's been caused by them, we want to bring some balance, some temperance. There is an agreement happening when it comes to this cabal and their lovers and the actions they have done in hand and their egregious mindset that they've been living in, the nightmare that this has caused because of their attempting rulership and control, the message, a concrete message about what's being handed out, and the wheel is turning, and we are ready to go. We are wanting to move to a better place. We've got the things ready to move. So what is being birthed here? The new action, things being pondered, and wanting to get away from these ill emotions and drama and this delusion that Trump has got going and his mental decline. There is some new information coming out, and again, this rapid mindset that he is facing loss. Okay. So this is looking at and living with compassion with what we're juggling when it comes to their abuses of power, sitting out there, outside of spirituality, the drama that's taking place when it comes to their manipulation. The swords are coming down. And we're looking at the long-term things that they have withheld and the things that they have hidden. Okay, what's being hidden when it comes to the deaths, etc., and when it comes to those ones that are truly behind all of this stuff. Okay. So, yeah, things are amping up. more is going to be revealed, and they can't continue to conceal it anymore. Okay? When it comes to these, whether you want to call it the Illuminati or whatever, the shadow government, the the wealthiest families, which have been engaging in basically what one would call Satanism, etc., the dark, dark things that are happening, okay, human trafficking, drugs, the power, the abuse of power, the wanting to keep people, and now you see it even more that they want to make society just little breeder ants, or a little beehive, okay, of worker bees that they want to rule over, okay? They want to give nothing, they want to take everything, and this has been going on in a little easier to hide way throughout the centuries, but now it's being blown open. Okay, we see exactly what's there, and they can't hide it anymore. Okay, so the good thing is they can't hide it anymore, and this division is taking place. Some are going into this fifth dimension, and it all has to do with your consciousness. Now, those that are in fear mode and drama will feel even more amped up fear mode and drama. And those of us that are pulled out of that will be in a whole different consciousness as far as that. There will be more balance, more groundedness, okay, and staying out of the fear mode. Okay, that's the most important thing, to stay grounded and staying out of that fear mode. And knowing that based on the consciousness where you're at, is the reality that you are going to live, okay? Your perception of reality. So on that note, I'll leave that here. We'll see you online.